So first, before you do a startup, ask yourself whether you have entrepreneurial spirit. That doesn't mean that your dad has a lot of money. No, entrepreneurial spirit doesn't mean that you have some lot of funds to invest something or you have the ambition, drive. That's not the only thing. First, we must have the personality trait meant for that. Are you what is it called? Are you open? To open means in personality means are you open to new experiences or rather open to new ideas? And are you very, very, very conscientious? Conscious means extremely industrious, extremely hardworking, and your conscience will prick you if you don't do everything just right. These two things have to be given. If you're one of the playful, flippant guys who love to have fun, entrepreneurial spirit is not meant for you. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way. Not everybody has to start a startup, because if the whole world started startups, who's going to work in startups, right? So first, I'm going to ask yourself, are you made for that? Another way to do a startup is maybe you bring certain skill sets, partner with 2 or 3 other guys or girls who will bring other skill sets. So maybe you're the hardworking guy, but you don't have any new ideas. Startups are always based on a single brilliant new idea. That's important. But that's not enough, of course, because the idea is just a hypothesis. Nobody really knows where it's going to work. So you need somebody with the ideas, the vision, somebody with the management skills. And management skills means basically somebody who's good with people. Somebody who can handle people. Because very few startups are one-man shows or two-man shows. So you should be able to manage a large number of people. And if it's a technology startup, so you better somebody be very good at technology. Really good at technology. Because remember, you're starting something new. The guy who's going, let's say, to a new place for the first time and nobody's ever been there, he better be a better sailor than the guy who's going to a place that millions of people have already gone there. So all that is important. So first was, I'm asking, are you cut out for it? Do you have a talent for it? Because as I said somewhere else, your talents indicate what you're meant to be, not your desires. Your talents are your sense. Second is get people on board initially who probably will come in as partners. Third, yes, you need money. You need a lot of money. Much more money than you probably have seen thus far. So see if somebody you can convince somebody enough that they're willing to put money in you. Now that convince somebody is very, very important, because it's not just about the money, because eventually once you start selling, or once you get vendors on board, once you have to sell, once you get clients on board, that convincing skill is going to be extremely important. So if you can convince somebody to put more money than you have ever had in your life thus far in your idea, that itself is a very big skill, by the way. So that's the beginning. Because remember, most startups fail because they don't have anybody to fund them beyond a certain point. And third, remember, having a startup is like having a baby. It's a 24/7 job. So ask yourself, do you want to do this? It's a 24/7 job. There are no Sundays, there are no Diwalis and Christmases, there are no 8 or 9 hour days. No. There is a problem. You pick up the phone at 11 o'clock at night or 3 o'clock in the morning. That has to happen. So ask yourself, everybody says, I want to be next Elon Musk. Good for you, dude. But for billions of guys who went out of there, they didn't end up being Elon Musk. So that's another thing. Get somebody to back you up. Have a good team. Have the right temperamental and temperamental spirit. Temperament rather. Right personality trait. Have that singular idea. But most successful startups now, most people may not want to hear this. Most successful startups, especially in India, simply took a template from another startup abroad and then copied it for this geography. For example, Paytm is following the template of some which other companies in China have followed. Most like Flipkart took template of what Amazon followed in India and abroad, and they made success out of it. Advantage there is you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to remake the same mistakes which the first mover made. So while you may not have the first mover advantage, you have the second mover advantage, which is you don't have to repeat the same blunders. So often, especially in a country like India, you can look at what are startups that have succeeded very much outside and then replicate it here. And it's easier to, and once if they know, for example, Sunglass Hut is a brand selling sunglasses in America. Lenskart in India follows primarily their template almost. It's easier for Lenskart to get venture capitalists and people to fund them because they say, see, Sunglass Hut has done so well. They have so many branches worldwide and that they make so much money. We are doing the same thing, following the same template, the same stencil in India. Then I think we will have a good chance of succeeding. If we follow exactly the same thing, then even your capitalists will want to put money in it. So that's another thing. While it's much more romantic and much more adventurous to do something which nobody's ever done, very, very few startups with totally fresh ideas will succeed. I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but remember, it's your life and it's somebody else's money. And when somebody's going to put their money in you, believe me, it's no cakewalk. You are going to be double stressed from your customers, from vendors, and now from the guy who's put money because he owns you. And those guys really own you. Remember, Steve Jobs was fired from Apple first time because somebody else owned the company, even though it was his idea, his name, and his brand behind the company. So, and so, but let me also tell you the other way to via media is if you don't want to take up all these complicated processes, join a startup. You don't have to start a startup. There you get a lot of the benefits of startup, the entrepreneurial spirit, the risk taking, the excitement, the the adventure, the conquering new territory, all that excitement you get is almost like a sport with very little of the downside because it's not your money, it's not your life. If that startup goes defunct, you change jobs and go and join another company. So I would strongly say, at least initially, I would say for everybody, join a startup. And you will learn a lot of things which will eventually be useful for you when you want to start your own startup.